Chapter 1731, 5 Regional Formation. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios' infallible blessed land battlefield. The tornado resembling a heavenly pillar whipped up a storm as it crashed towards Heavenly Court's formation. Prince Feng and Ba, who were outside, stared at the horizon. There, 2 specks of light tore through the sky. The figures of 2 rank 8 Gu immortals were shown gradually. They were Li Huang and Qing Yi. We finally arrived. Not bad. We were not late. Li Huang and Qing Yi had finally arrived. Where is that scoundrel Fang Yuan? Li Huang's eyes shined with orange-red light. He tried to investigate. He was filled with grudge towards Fang Yuan. Earlier, when Fang Yuan retreated, he purposely chose the opposite direction of infallible blessed land. He made Li Huang and the others go very far away. After that, Fang Yuan found a chance to use fixed immortal travel and arrived at infallible blessed land. Li Huang and the rest were left in the dust. Central Continent's heavenly court did not have beacon towers. Li Huang and Qing Yi had to rush to infallible blessed land through a very long distance. They should be inside the formation. Qing Yi responded. His gaze swept past the formation and landed on the unlimited wind. This killer move is very strong. It is very threatening to our formation. We should get rid of it. This Wu Yong has such a killer move and farewell friend wind. If possible, we should try to kill him. If he returns to southern border, he will be a huge problem for Heavenly Court in the future. Li Huang and Qing Yi discussed before they changed directions, moving towards the unlimited wind killer move. Prince Feng and Ba had sensed them already. They also rushed there. Go. Prince Feng shouted as he waved his sleeves. Hundreds of fireballs blew out. You're using fire to attack me? Laughable. Li Huang snorted and did not dodge. Verdant Sunflame Cloak was blazing on his back. Prince Feng's fireballs landed on Li Huang, but did not cause any damage. It even increased the power of Verdant Sunflame Cloak. Prince Feng's expression did not change. He pointed at Li Huang. Whoosh! The flames on Li Huang turned purple instantly. The purple flames infiltrated the orange-red Verdant Sunflame Cloak as it tried to disintegrate the defensive killer move. Li Huang's expression changed. Prince Feng wanted to keep him busy. He charged towards Li Huang. The two fought in the sky, causing blazing flames to emerge and scorch the earth. The temperature of the battlefield was rising. Ba watched Prince Feng's battle as he thought. Humph, this Prince Feng is still acting. He is really well concealed. Fang Yuan's side left Prince Feng and Ba outside to guard the formation. That Ba had already been informed of Prince Feng's identity through Wu Yong, but he pretended to not know that it was like how Wu Yong and Fang Yuan predicted. Unless it was necessary, Prince Feng did not want to expose his identity. The truth was, Heavenly Court would rather make some sacrifices than to expose Prince Feng. During the 5 regions chaotic war, he would have more value. Prince Feng and Li Huang were Fire Path rank 8s. The two fought in the sky before fighting on the ground. They dyed the sky red. They made rivers dry up. The ground cracked from their attacks. Clouds vaporized. Countless life forms fled for their lives. Ba and Qing Yi cultivated Rule Path and Dark Path respectively. Even though their fight did not cause as much of a commotion as Li Huang and Prince Feng, it was much more ruthless. Li Huang knew about Prince Feng's true identity. They were just acting even though the commotion was huge. But Ba and Qing Yi were true enemies. Ba shrieked in a strange tone as many profound lights stabbed or slashed towards Qing Yi like blades or swords. 3 consecutive hits. For consecutive hits. 5 consecutive hits. Each profound light had moderate power, but when they landed on Qing Yi, the damage accumulated rapidly. This was the consecutive attack method that Ba trained in his life. This kind of Rule Path supplementary killer move could allow a certain killer move to gain a huge boost in power. The condition was that Ba had to use that killer move and could not change to other methods. Qing Yi was forced to retreat gradually. Sweat appeared on his forehead. I cannot let him continue. Once he reaches 18 consecutive hits, my defenses will fail. Qing Yi activated an immortal killer move. His figure vanished and turned into darkness in the sky. It was like a blob of ink had landed in water and expanded endlessly. Ba saw this and hesitated. This is likely Qin Ye's signature killer move, expanding night sky. Both sides had information about each other. Ba and Qin Ye had a certain level of understanding of each other. Expanding night sky was an immortal battlefield killer move. It was quite special. Normal immortal battlefields were formed after some preparation. Meanwhile, expanding night sky would continue to increase in size and range. This move had no limit in theory, as long as Qin Ye had enough time. He could even spread this immortal battlefield killer move to cover the whole of White Heaven. Ba flew backwards. He thought about it and decided to avoid the enemy. Expanding night sky was an immortal battlefield. If Ba went in, his rule path would be weakened by the dark path environment. Of course, the bigger reason was Prince Feng. Ba knew that Prince Feng Xian was a traitor. If he went into the immortal battlefield, he would not be able to see anything outside. Qin Ye might even let Prince Feng Xian and Li Huang into the battlefield to deal with Ba. Then Ba would have to fight 3 enemies. It would be dangerous. The battle of 2 pairs of rank 8s went into a short deadlock. A moment later, many immortal goo houses appeared on the horizon. Among them were Frost Dragon Manor and Wind Sweeping Building. These immortal goo houses were originally protecting Emperor City. Now that Emperor City was history, the immortal goo houses carried all their goo immortals and arrived here as reinforcements. Frost Dragon Manor was at the front. It started to shine in a light blue aura. The light formed into a dragon shape. It was a hornless dragon. The light blue hornless dragon opened its mouth as countless hailstones shot towards Ba and Ba's speed fell drastically. He snorted coldly, avoiding Qin Ye as he used his killer move on Frost Dragon Manor. Boom, boom, boom. Frost Dragon Manor continued to take a beating. Its walls were cracking. Tiles were sent flying. As it resisted, the second light blue hornless dragon formed. It coiled around the first one before coiling around the entire Frost Dragon Manor. Frost Dragon Manor's defense surged as a result, while the light blue hornless dragon opened its mouth and shot out a tattered mysterious light. This immortal goo house has the power to expel my killer move's damage. Ba's expression sank a little. He could not destroy this immortal goo house in a short time. If they continued, expanding night sky would trap him. He had to retreat and pull some distance now. This time, Wind Sweeping Building entered the battlefield as well. It did not assist Qin Ye or Li Huang. Instead, it directly entered the unlimited wind killer move, reaching towards the sky. Good wind, good wind. Give me some time. I will be able to make this wind my own. The current generation Wind Sweeping Building Lord laughed loudly. Due to Wind Sweeping Building's interference, unlimited wind started to weaken again. More and more immortal goo houses joined the battlefield. Fang Yuan's side was getting more perilous. Hold on, we're coming. At the crucial moment, a crack formed in the Heavenly Court formation. Many immortal goo houses flew out. There were Southern Borders Clear Jade Dripping Wind Tiny Bamboo Building, Great Space Temple, Bay Pavilion, Unfixed Manor, as well as Northern Plains Fingerprint Bridge, Demonic Ape Hall, and Minor Sun Building. With these 7 immortal goo houses helping, Ba's pressure fell greatly. Both sides entered a chaotic battle. Immortal goo houses rampaged and exchanged killer moves. Intense fireworks that had dazzling colors were created. At once, the battle was stuck in a deadlock yet again. Within the formation, Wu Yong and the rest had dark expressions. Even though they opened a crack in time and sent out the immortal goo houses, stabilizing the situation outside, they had also expended their trump card in advance. The situation was getting more disadvantageous. Prince Feng Xian was a problem. Heavenly Court's battlefield was also hopeless. It all depended on whether Fang Yuan and the rest could destroy the formation now. At our speed, the chance of victory is becoming increasingly slim. Fang Yuan sighed as he asked, is Tao Zhu's 5 regional true inheritance able to deal with this formation? Back then, he had set a trap in the 5 regional mountain range to target the southern border and Heavenly Court goo immortals. During the battle, Wu Yong destroyed the entire 5 regional mountain range and accidentally awakened Tao Zhu's will. He had a chance to inherit the 5 regional true inheritance. Fang Yuan had to retreat at that time. So the 5 regional true inheritance ended up in the hands of the southern border goo immortals. According to Fang Yuan's deductions, The 5 regional true inheritance could mimic the 5 regions' regional walls. Within the regional walls, Gu immortals would be suppressed. They would face a backlash whenever they used any immortal killer move, be it immortal Gu house or immortal formation. They were immortal killer moves in essence. Fang Yuan thought about it. If they could use the methods in the 5 regional true inheritance against Heavenly Court's formation, it might have some effect. Wu Yong and Qi Chuyu looked at each other. Wu Yong said, I obtained the 5 regional true inheritance. There is indeed a method to create the 5 regional walls in the true inheritance, but, Qi Chuyu added, but this method uses the earth veins to set up the formation. It is very troublesome and complicated. Tao Zhu was able to create the 5 regional mountain range back then because he used the earth vein and a formation. After Fang Yuan left the battlefield, Wu Yong obtained the 5 regional true inheritance, but he found that the essence of it was the 5 regional formation. Wu clan was not proficient in formation path. Wu Yong thus worked together with Qi Chuyu, as the latter also learned about the profundity of the 5 regional formation. Comment, do we really need the earth vein to set up the 5 regional formation? Fang Yuan frowned deeply. Wait, I heard that not long ago, Ho Clan's Gu Immortal obtained a wild earth vein, immortal Gu from the earth trench. Can we use that Gu in place of the earth vein? The immortals heard this as they shook. Wu Yong and Qi Chuyu looked at each other, sighing at Fang Yuan's quick thinking. Qi Chuyu shook his head. The truth is, I have already obtained earth vein immortal Gu through a transaction with Ho Clan. But to use this earth vein immortal Gu in place of the actual earth vein, we will need to modify the 5 regional formation. I have been trying and have made some progress, but I am still far from success. Often, Gu immortals took years to modify one immortal killer move. Even though Qi Chuyu had high formation path attainment level, his wisdom path methods were lacking. He could not make rapid progress. Fang Yuan's eyes flickered with bright light. This 5 regional formation is likely our breakthrough chance. Qi Chuyu, even though you cannot do it alone, with me and Black Extremity, there is a chance. Let's try. Chapter 1732. Calamity Luck Alters Counterattack. Chapter 1732. Calamity Luck Alters Counterattack. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios' infallible Blessed Land Battlefield. What are they trying to do? Chun Yi and the rest discovered the irregular behavior of Fang Yuan's group. Feng Jiugu was still pale. He sized up the situation and frowned. They are actually setting up a formation. Formation within a formation? Bai Tsang Shui snorted. They are simply underestimating us. Arranging a formation within a formation was very difficult, and this difficulty was further raised when trying to arrange the formation within an enemy's formation. One different from immortal Gu houses, immortal formations had requirements towards their surrounding environment. The surrounding natural Dao marks would have a great influence on most immortal formations. Heavenly Court side naturally would not let Fang Yuan's group do as they wished. They immediately activated the formation. Waves after waves of attacks charged towards the newly created formation base. You wish. With us here, you can set up the formation with peace of mind. Wu Yong, Yao Huang, and others guarded the 4 directions around the formation base, blocking Heavenly Court's offenses. Within the formation base, Qi Chuyu, Black Extremity, and Fang Yuan were setting up a formation with urgency. 360 Fire Crow Gu have been placed. Black Extremity wiped the sweat on his forehead. We are still lacking 44 rank 5 Soul Blade Gu. When are they coming? Qi Chuyu spoke while contacting other Gu immortals. Treasure Yellow Heaven had become their most effective form of goods transportation. Fang Yuan's body shook slightly. The immortal Gu in his hand scattered down like rain that caused splattering noises. Several breaths later, he let out a breath of air and stopped his movement. Rank 6 Instant Chain Immortal Gu has been placed properly. Qi Chuyu and Black Extremity took a quick glance at him while thinking, unbelievable. Fang Yuan's wisdom path and formation path attainment levels are so high. Not only did he deduce a completely new 5 regional formation in such a short period of time, he is also setting up the immortal formation with such fluid movement. Fang Yuan's formation path attainment level was at Grandmaster, which was lower than Qi Chuyu's and Black Extremities, but he had plenty of experience in setting up formations. Self-cleansing formation, omnidirectional travel, ancient battle formation, Dragon Scale sees Food Path Immortal Formation, Coiling Thread Goo Formation, Immemorial Year Beast Fishing Formation, Flood Discharge Formation, Self Will Heaven Sealing Formation, Year Essence Pool, and so on had been personally set up by him. Thus, although it was his first time setting up the 5 regional formation, he was not overwhelmed but worked with great proficiency. If I had to set up the formation alone, it would take a lot of time. But with Chi Chu Yu and Black Extremity's help, we can set up 5 regional formation quickly. We need to finish this quickly. Fang Yuan was fully focused and made use of every second. Heavenly Court Battlefield, Li Huang, Qing Yi, and others have already reached infallible blessed land. Wu Yang's unlimited wind is suppressed by wind sweeping building. Prince Feng Xian's identity has not been exposed. But I don't understand the intention of Fang Yuan's group in trying to set up a formation within a formation. Additionally, our reinforcements are about to reach Hidden Dragon Cave. Fairy Ziwei reported the situation to Duke Long. Duke Long responded while fighting. Although Prince Feng Xian's identity is not exposed currently, we cannot rule out the case that Fang Yuan knows about it, but kept silent. You need to pay attention to this point. Let Chen Yi and the rest take note of the situation and be prepared to help out Prince Feng Xian at any time. 2 Fairy Ziwei, yes. Knowing that the situation was still in their grasp, Duke Long concentrated on 7 Extreme Desolation again. It is time. Duke Long clenched his claws, feeling the vast force within his body. Immortal Killer Move, Heavenly Dragon's Last Stand. After using this killer move, his lifespan could only decrease and could not be increased. At the same time, it would provide Duke Long with increasing battle strength as time passed. In a short period of time, Duke Long's battle strength had soared once again and reached an astonishing level. Roar! A dragon roar resounded as purple-gold dragon-shaped chi erupted. Boom! 7 Extreme Desolation simply could not react in time. It only saw Duke Long suddenly disappear into thin air, before it flew away like a meteor stuck by boundless force. 7 Extreme Desolation was sent flying and crashed into the chi wall violently. Countless cracks appeared on the giant's body. Damn it, his speed increased again. All our investigative killer moves are blocked by Duke Long. We are simply unable to catch his trace. We will be caught in a passive state if this goes on. If this continues any longer, Duke Long's battle strength will start suppressing us completely. In that case, let's use offense as defense. We will be able to hit Duke Long as long as we attack in every direction with our killer moves. The 7 Big Dipper Immortals conversed quickly. The 7 Extreme Desolation giant rose and was about to step into the battlefield again. Duke Long suddenly appeared above the giant. Still want to stand up? Duke Long gave a ferocious smile while slamming his right dragon claw down. Boom! The dragon claw was tiny like an ant compared to the giant's 7 Extreme Desolation, but it inflicted an enormous injury on the giant as air currents surged. The 7 Extreme Desolation giant's head was smashed into paste. The headless giant was forced down to the ground, creating a human-shaped crater. Dust and stones were sent flying as the surroundings shook. Duke Long slowly retracted his claw while hovering in the air, letting out a satisfied grunt. Renewed strength spread throughout Duke Long's body again. His muscles expanded once again and bones grew rapidly. His dragon scales became bigger and tougher. His crown-like dragon horns turned increasingly ferocious as spikes extended everywhere. Duke Long's whole body, that had already surpassed normal people's height, expanded once again. A thatched hut ceiling would probably only reach his waist. His long purple hair had been soft and elegant, but now each strand was thick and strong and reached until his feet. Purple gold lightning flickered in between his hair. His dragon tail grew longer. It had been less than 10 feet before, but now it was tens of feet long. Duke Long, go and die. A Northern Plains rank 8 suddenly appeared behind Duke Long. He was determined to succeed as he smashed a killer move which he had prepared for a long time at Duke Long's back. Snap. In just an instant. Duke Long's dragon tail whipped and sent this rank 8 Goo Immortal flying. Guh. The Northern Plains Goo Immortal coughed out mouthfuls of blood. His spine was instantly broken and his organs were displaced. The most fatal thing was the backlash from his own immortal killer move which sent him to the verge of death, the next moment. Three Northern Plains Gu immortals made their move at the same time. Three killer moves struck Duke Long in succession. We hit him. But the joy on these three Northern Plains Gu immortals' faces froze immediately. As dust dissipated. Duke Long could be seen standing upright. Purple gold dragon scales that flickered with metallic luster covered his whole body. There was not even a scar. What? We had already calculated it. Our three killer moves coordinated with each other and increased each other's power. What kind of defense is this? The three Northern Plains Gu immortals were shaken before they felt uneasy and retreated immediately. Are you scratching my back? Duke Long slowly turned around. His expressionless dragon eyes stared at the three retreating Gu immortals. The three Gu immortals immediately felt alerts ringing in their mind. An intense sense of danger suffocated them, as if a mountain was pressing on them. Duke Long, don't try to leave. We are your opponent. The seven extreme desolation giant had obtained a brief respite and stood up once again. Their smashed head had already mostly recovered. Humph, seven Big Dipper immortals, you are no longer able to obstruct me. Duke Long sneered as he gave an indifferent glance to seven extreme desolation before moving his gaze to Calamity Luck Altar. Red Lotus Demon Venerable's call of the ancient killer move was reliant on Calamity Luck Altar. As long as Calamity Luck Altar was bombarded and dealt a certain amount of damage, Call of the Ancient would be destroyed. Without the interference of these past Northern Plains experts, Heavenly Court members would immediately have the advantage in numbers and longevity. Heaven would no longer have strength to retaliate. Inside Calamity Luck Altar, Bing Sichuan's forehead was filled with sweat. Damn it. Fate Gu has recovered a little again. The Northern Plains experts from Call of the Ancient are greatly weakened. On the contrary, Heavenly Court members are being strengthened by the Human Path killer move. Most importantly, Duke Long cannot be stopped. His battle strength has already greatly surpassed the realm of rank 8. Even the Human Path killer move has no amplification effect on him. While Bing Sichuan was thinking, Duke Long had once again smashed down on 7 extreme desolation. After getting rid of the hindrance, Duke Long directly charged towards Calamity Luck Altar. Huff. Bing Sichuan breathed out heavily as a resolute light shone in his eyes. This is our final attempt. Boom. Calamity Luck Altar suddenly erupted with an extremely intense light that resembled the sun. All the Gu immortals had no choice but to shut their eyes. Even Duke Long had to squint his eyes. He was puzzled. Bing Sichuan is activating Calamity Luck Altar's abilities so intensely. Is he not afraid of affecting Call of the Ancient? Call of the Ancient was only attached to Calamity Luck Altar. This time Path Killer Move and Calamity Luck Altar conflicted with each other. Calamity Luck Altar did not use its powerful abilities so that it could sustain Call of the Ancient. So it was surprising to see Bing Sichuan suddenly activating its ability. The intense light of Luck Path temporarily obstructed everyone. Within the light, Calamity Luck Altar was like a beast let out of its cage as it ferociously smashed towards the Refinement Path formation. Quick, stop him! Fairy Z-Wei cried out. Duke Long discovered to his surprise that Call of the Ancient was still working. The River of Time Phantom image was already imprinted in the battlefield. Although it was dissipating, its speed of dissipation was extremely slow and could clearly last for a long period of time. Red Lotus. Immediately, Duke Long was surprised and furious. He realized he had fallen into Red Lotus Demon Venerable's scheme. His understanding of Call of the Ancient came from the other half of its set, the killer move support of the future. Back then, in the battle with Red Lotus Demon Venerable, he had attacked Red Lotus many times and disrupted support of the future. Master, you are very perceptive. You actually saw through this move's flaw. In his memories, Red Lotus Demon Venerable was bleeding, but still had a smile on his face and radiance in his eyes. This defiant disciple, he said it intentionally. There is also this Bing Sichuan. He is truly crafty. He could move freely but purposely restrained himself. Duke Long was furious. This had happened too suddenly and caught him off guard. Calamity Luck Altar had already prepared the move for a long time, so it erupted with shocking might. The Heavenly Court members were strengthened by heroes among people and were suppressing Northern Plains immortals. Unknowingly, the tight defense line had become dispersed. Looking at Calamity Luck Altar's charge, Several Heavenly Court members activated immortal killer moves without dodging, but under the intense light of luck path. Most of their killer moves failed miserably and they suffered from powerful backlash. Only a few killer moves activated successfully and struck Calamity Luck Altar, but were not even able to move Calamity Luck Altar. Calamity Luck Altar kept on charging straight, heavily injuring several Heavenly Court Gu immortals in its path. It collided with the Refinement Path formation like a crashing meteor. Boom. The Refinement Path formation suffered serious damage and was mostly shattered. Heaven overseeing Tower's peak was finally exposed to plain sight. Chapter 1733, Giant Sun's Greatness. Plop. Yuan Xiongdu, who had been in charge of the restoration work, blacked out and fell to the ground. He had already been injured before, and with the backlash from the damage to the Refinement Path formation, he immediately fainted. Without him, although success Dao marks were still arriving in small portions, Fate Gu's recovery was immediately paused. Even Song Yan was affected. This rank 8 Gu immortal had collaborated with Che Wei to defend against Northern Plains Bull Demon and 5 Elements Grandmaster. Song Yan had already been prepared when Bull Demon and 5 Elements Grandmaster attacked the Refinement Path Gu formation. He bore the damage done to the Refinement Path formation with his own body. Now with Calamity Luck Altar destroying most of the Refinement Path formation, Song Yan also had to endure a large portion of the damage. Song Yan was dizzy. His ears kept on buzzing and his 7 orifices were bleeding. He had almost collapsed to the ground. Fortunately, Che Wei provided timely assistance and protected him. How is your condition? Che Wei defended against the joint attacks of Bull Demon and 5 Elements Grandmaster while asking, I'm still not dead. Song Yan coughed out a mouthful of blood. Go reinforce them quickly. Who can reconstruct the Refinement Path formation? Yuan Xiongdu had been in charge of restoring Fate Gu. Others won't be able to continue the work within a short period. It is better to wake him first. The light of luck path started dissipating. Heavenly Court's immortals charged towards it like they had gone crazy. We failed to destroy it completely. Inside Calamity Luck Altar, Bing Sichuan's gaze shined coldly. His gaze turned, and he immediately gave a firm order. Bull Demon, 5 Elements Grandmaster, return immediately. The light of luck path could not last for long and was dissipating quickly. The Heavenly Court immortals were all charging over. It would definitely be dangerous for Bull Demon and 5 Elements Grandmaster if they were to remain outside. Previously, the Heavenly Court Gu immortals had been afraid of the Refinement Path Gu formation not being able to support many Gu immortals, and so had not reinforced Song Yan and Che Wei. Bull Demon and 5 Elements Grandmaster understood the situation and quickly retreated to Calamity Luck Altar. Che Wei was helpless and could only watch. Bull Demon entered Calamity Luck Altar with a worried expression. Flower Lady is still trapped in Heaven Overseeing Tower. The situation there is unknown. Bing Sichuan nodded. His expression was resolute. We shall completely destroy this Refinement Path formation and then rescue. Boom. Bing Sichuan had yet to finish speaking when Calamity Luck Altar shook intensely. The 3 inside the altar could not stand stably and shook along with the altar. A gigantic figure had ruthlessly stepped on Calamity Luck Altar. Because of this action, most of Calamity Luck Altar sank and got buried in the ground. It was Duke Long. With me here, this is as far as you will go. Duke Long's expression was solemn. His gaze was cold. The anger from earlier had completely turned into ruthlessness. His killing intent pervaded the air and suffocated others. Boom, boom, boom. Duke Long started punching Calamity Luck Altar. A torrent of fists rained down on Calamity Luck Altar like a storm. Calamity Luck Altar shook endlessly, sinking down into the ground inch by inch. Cracks quickly appeared on Calamity Luck Altar's surface and started expanding before forming holes. Large amount of goo worms died. Bing Sichuan immediately distributed the work. He started preparing a killer move to retaliate. Bull Demon was put in charge of repairing Calamity Luck Altar, and 5 Elements Grandmaster, who specialized in Formation Path, was given the work of deducing the half-destroyed Refinement Path formation. The speed of destruction is too fast. I have no time to repair Calamity Luck Altar at all. Several breaths later, Bull Demon shouted. 5 Elements Grandmaster's head was soaked with sweat as he tried to deduce the formation with all his strength. Bing Sichuan said through clenched teeth. Persevere. Duke Long was extremely powerful. The rank 8 Calamity Luck Altar, an immortal goo house created by Giant Sun Immortal Venerable personally, was already unable to endure Duke Long's endless punches. Rise. Bing Sichuan shouted. Calamity Luck Altar once again erupted with piercing light as it flew towards the sky. Duke Long, who had been punching continuously, felt a powerful force coming from Calamity Luck Altar. Go down. Duke Long shouted. He raised his fists above his head and smashed down like a giant hammer. Immortal killer move. World-shaking dragon hammer. With a loud bang, Calamity Luck Altar, which had just ascended, was smashed down like a ball. A huge amount of goo worms died, their carcasses flying everywhere. A large hole was smashed open on the surface of Calamity Luck Altar from which one could see Bing Sichuan. Bing Sichuan could not hide his shock. Duke Long's strength had already surpassed his wildest imagination. Even Heavenly Court's members were dumbfounded. Everyone, charge. At this moment, the Northern Plains Goo Immortals who were created by Call of the Ancient rushed to reinforce. The Heavenly Court Goo Immortals did not dodge or evade, meeting the Northern Plains Goo Immortals head-on. Chaotic battle erupted once again, and in the rear of this chaotic battle, Duke Long was continuously bombarding Calamity Luck Altar. Behind Duke Long was the Refinement Path formation that was being repaired hurriedly. 7 Extreme Desolation fought and killed, finally paving a path of blood as it arrived before Duke Long. Calamity Luck Altar cannot defend against Duke Long on its own. Bing Sichuan had to acknowledge this fact. After obtaining the reinforcement of 7 Extreme Desolation, Bing Sichuan finally had a chance to catch a breather. With some difficulty, he manipulated Calamity Luck Altar and fought Duke Long together with 7 Extreme Desolation. Immortal killer move, spiraling dragon Feng. Duke Long opened his mouth as his teeth flew out. 100 sharp teeth expanded along with the wind, becoming a group of snow-white dragon Feng blades that slashed at Calamity Luck Altar. Chink, chink, chink. The dragon Feng blade struck Calamity Luck Altar and produced intense sounds like the collision of hundreds of weapons. Calamity Luck Altar was like a hut in the storm, unable to even retaliate. Duke Long sneered. In just a short moment, teeth grew again in his mouth. They flew out once again, turning into snow-white blades that shrouded Calamity Luck Altar and 7 Extreme Desolation. Soon, 7 Extreme Desolation became heavily damaged while Calamity Luck Altar was filled with holes. Immortal killer move, Dragon Claw Strike. Immortal killer move, Chaotic Dragon Fist. Fist shadows flew in all directions and claw marks appeared everywhere. 7 Extreme Desolation's head was destroyed again and again, while Calamity Luck Altar was in ruins and Bull Demon was simply unable to repair it. Immortal killer move, 9 Dragons Protection. 9 huge purple-gold dragon shadows coiled around Duke Long. It was not that 7 Extreme Desolation and Calamity Luck Altar did not retaliate, but their attacks were all blocked by 9 Dragons Protection. The situation was obvious. Duke Long had an extremely huge dominance. As time continued to pass, Longevity Heaven's side would definitely fail. You have the guts to invade my heavenly court. You are going to pay for it with your lives. Duke Long snorted. What are you still resisting for? You have no hope left. Duke Long stepped and activated a killer move, pushing down the whole Calamity Luck Altar into the ground. He then punched with both hands and sent 7 Extreme Desolation flying far away. I already told you, this is as far as you can possibly go. You will all fail. Heavenly Court will remain invincible for all eternity. Duke Long's voice reverberated throughout the whole battlefield, stirring everyone's hearts. What methods do you still have? Use them all. I will personally send you into the abyss of despair. He spoke slowly and steadily. His expressionless dragon eyes and cruel voice gave chills to others. Bing Sichuan was in a miserable state. Calamity Luck Altar could no longer provide comprehensive defense. He was filled with injuries. This was the result of spiraling dragon fangs. The situation was getting increasingly dangerous. But the light in his eyes had never been extinguished. He still held hope, in the depths of his mind. There was a memory which he would never forget. This is 88. True worldbuilding? So amazing. It is truly worthy of being Lord's creation. Bing Sichuan stood beside Giant Sun Immortal Venerable and said with reverence. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable smiled. He had a satisfied expression. With this immortal goo house, all my children will become strong. Lord, you are truly considerate. Bing Sichuan praised. However, Giant Sun Immortal Venerable changed his tone. I feel more anticipation towards the time it collapses. While what? I created this building so that it would collapse one day. Bing Sichuan, you are a time path goo immortal, go hibernate. When 88 True Yang building collapses in the future, it will be a sign that the opportunity to attack Heavenly Court has arrived. 5. Inside Calamity Luck Altar. Even if my injuries are fatal, even if the situation is desperate, even if we have used all our trump cards, I won't give up. Because this plan is Ancestor Giant Sun's arrangement. O Heavenly Court, the victor will be us. Bing Sichuan shouted. Blind confidence. Duke Long gave a disdainful scoff. You will only extend your suffering if you continue persevering. Bing Sichuan snorted. You will never understand that man's greatness. Not far away. Whoosh. Dogtail life extending ferret Mao Li Chiu suddenly turned into smoke and disappeared from the scene. We finally got rid of the killer move perfect pair. It is indeed worthy of being thieving heaven demon venerable's creation. Fortunately, this is Heavenly Court. With 4 rule path goo immortals, and with detailed information on perfect pair in our records, we could decipher it. If this were a normal situation, it would have been troublesome. The dogtail life extending ferret had been engaging in a fierce battle against 2 legendary immemorial desolate beasts of Heavenly Court, Ruan Dan and Shabi 95. With perfect pair, the dogtail life extending ferret and its clone were able to suppress them. But with Heavenly Court's members waking up, many people began to target perfect pair and were finally able to break it. Try to act wild again. Little dog, you pounced on me so many times that my feathers are all plucked out. Ruan Dan and Shabi 95 surrounded Mao Li Chiu, along with several Heavenly Court goo immortals. Mao Li Chiu might have outstanding strength, but falling into this situation, it was not able to fight against many and was soon filled with injuries with blood gushing out rapidly. But Ruan Dan and Shabi 95 were also not in a good state. Mao Li Chiu's counterattack was specially targeted at these two, although Mao Li Chiu's injuries kept on increasing and was becoming increasingly weak while Heavenly Court's dominance was increasing. Ruan Dan and Shabi 95 were still shaken and bewildered. This lunatic is not afraid of death. Even if it dies, it will probably bite a piece of my flesh off during its last attack. Heavenly Court's 2 legendary immemorial beasts could not help but feel apprehensive. One of them shouted, Mao Li Chiu, why are you wasting your life for Giant Sun Immortal Venerable? He raised you because of your innate ability and wanted to kill you to prolong his life. Mao Li Chiu was standing in a pool of blood. Its injuries were horrifying and many were so deep that its bones could be seen. Its glossy fur was now stuck together because of the blood. Its eyes had blacked out. Its body was shaking as if it would collapse at the next moment. It knew about its body condition. It would probably die here. And so what? Mao Li Chiu gave a soundless laughter as it opened its mouth. A memory surfaced in its mind. Under the setting sun, on a mountain, Mao Li Chiu curled up like a puppy beside Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's feet. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable stroked its head, but it was shivering. It had already heard of Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's plan. Now that Giant Sun Immortal Venerable was near the end of his lifespan and had summoned him, he probably wanted to kill it to extend his life. But Mao Li Chiu did not dare to resist. It was extremely clear. Even if it possessed peak rank 8 battle strength, it was not Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's match. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable would not even need to attack for it to die. Don't be afraid, Mao Li Chiu. I won't kill you to prolong my life. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable chuckled. Mao Li Chiu's body stiffened. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable gazed at the evening sky that was dazzling like fire. I still remember the first day I took you in. How time flies. You have already grown to this extent. Speaking from the bottom of my heart, you are my child too. How different are you from my sons and daughters? As a parent, how can I harm my own children? Mao Li Chiu knew Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's temperament. He would not lie because there was no need to do so. Mao Li Chiu asked in a daze. But master, You can extend your lifespan by killing me. Extend my lifespan? Giant Sun, immortal venerable laughed. I will only be dragging on the inevitable. People die in the end, isn't that so? He shook his head. What meaning is there to continue living under fate? Death is not that hard to accept. Furthermore, children are destined to leave their parents, and only then can they truly grow up. 1-inch master. Promise me, you must continue to live well. Do what you like, I won't give you any orders. Be yourself and live happily. Master. The memory faded away as Mao Liqiu looked at the surrounding enemies. Dai raised its head and laughed wildly, its aura suddenly surging. Master, even if I die, I will repay the gratitude of raising me. It is already dying. Right, it is only overexerting itself. But be careful of its final counterattack. The Heavenly Court immortals had cold expressions as they encircled it. Black Heaven. Luck Suppression Heavenly Palace. Giant Sun immortal zombie was sitting cross-legged without moving like a statue. He looked towards the south. The scenes of the battle in Heavenly Court were reflected in his eyes. His face showed no sadness or joy as he slowly raised his palm. Chapter 1734. Chun-E removes formation. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios' infallible Blessed Land Battlefield, 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation. Their formation, our side is suffering from a strong backlash. First group, come back and recuperate. Second group, take over the first group. Third group, be on standby. Chun-E and Bai Tsang Shui controlled the formation while orderly commanding the central continent Gu immortals. Who could have thought they would have such a strange move? Feng Jiu frowned slightly as he gazed at the 5 regional formation within the formation. This is troublesome. If we don't handle it well, the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation might. Feng Jiu had a bad feeling. The 5 regional formation constantly spread 5-colored smoke to the surroundings under Chu Yu's control. The smoke constantly spread out while becoming increasingly transparent as it invaded the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation. Good. This is the way. The others shall target the formation. Make the central continent Gu immortals use it frequently. The more they use it, the stronger the backlash they will suffer. The stronger this 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation is, the greater the injury these Gu immortals will have to suffer. This is truly wonderful. The morale of the Southern Alliance and Northern Plains immortals soared. They changed their battle tactic. They had already seen through this formation and could clearly target the flaw to destroy the formation. But now, they were not in a hurry to do so. The 5 regional smoke constantly spread, and they used this to deal with the central continent Gu immortals who were inside the formation. In a way, 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation had instead become the strong weapon for Fang Yuan's group to attack central continent and Heavenly Court's experts. How should we deal with this? Do we send people to destroy their formation? Bai Tsang Shui looked at Chun-E. The leader of this group was Chun-E. Chun-E looked unsightly as he said, this formation should have originated from the 5 regional true inheritance. It is the method of southern borders Taozhu. Heavenly Court had interfered in the 5 regional mountain range battle. Jun Xinguang was captured alive by Fang Yuan in this battle. Thus, Heavenly Court knew detailed information about Taozhu's true inheritance and the 5 regional mountain range battle. Taozhu could create the 5 regional mountain range. So this 5-colored smoke that is pervading the formation is clearly imitating the 5 regional walls and is making our side suffer from backlash. Chen Yi's tone was quite bitter. The 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation is a multi-layered formation. We can easily get rid of or add a subformation and hence sustain it indefinitely. Back then, Limitless Demon Venerable had to break 100 formations to get out of this formation. But Taozhu's method gets around the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation and targets our Gu immortals instead. Not only are they avoiding the formation, but the stronger our formation is, the stronger the backlash to the Gu immortals in charge of the formation. If we activate the formation to deal with the enemy's formation, we will fall into the enemy's trap. We cannot do that. But if we temporarily stop the formation and send our people out of the formation, we will be giving up our advantage and fighting with our weakness. Moreover, the enemies include ruthless people like Wu Yong and Fang Yuan. The Gu immortals we send out will be in huge danger. Chun Yi had been struck by Wu Yong's farewell friend wind and was saved by Feng Jiuge. He still felt lingering fear. More importantly, they only had 3 rank 8s, Chun Yi, Bai Tsang Shui, and Feng Jiuge. Moreover, they all had some level of injuries and were not suited to be sent out. Chun Yi sighed deeply as he analyzed until here. Who could have thought the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation would be countered by the enemy? Tao Zhu was only an ordinary rank 8 Gu immortal who could not even be mentioned alongside Wu Yong and Fang Yuan. While the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation was created by the famous and mighty star constellation Immortal Venerable, the 5 regional true inheritance was able to counter 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation. This was Tao Zhu's glory. While alive, Tao Zhu was not prominent among rank 8 Gu immortals or even remotely famous. He only created the 5 regional mountain range. N01 had expected his research to truly succeed. After this battle, Tao Zhu's name would spread throughout the world despite him having been dead for a long time already. Each generation brings forth new geniuses, and each will rule their domain for years to come. Like how Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable's perfect pair killer move was countered in the battle in Heavenly Court, star constellation Immortal Venerable's 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation was also countered by geniuses of the future generations. Star constellation Immortal Venerable and Thieving Heaven Demon Venerable had died too long ago while the eras continued to progress. Their methods were powerful, but they could not escape from the trials of time as it flows continuously. Remove that subformation. Chun Yi ordered resolutely. The Gu immortals beside him were shocked. Chun Yi actually sent the command to remove the formation. Did he get muddle-headed? But soon after, Feng Jiuge was the first to react, his eyes shining brightly as he praised. Great idea. They actually removed the formation, haha. Inside 5 regional formation, some Northern Plains Gu immortals started laughing heartily at this sight. Wu Yong and Fang Yuan, however, had slightly sunken expressions. This is not good. Chun Yi is truly crafty. If we are inside their formation, the 5-colored smoke can invade faster and deeper. Now that they have removed the subformation, its efficiency will decrease greatly. Indeed, over at Heavenly Court's battlefield, Longevity Heaven is already unable to hold on, and Heavenly Court is firmly occupying the upper hand. Chun Yi probably considered this, so he adopted the delaying tactic. Fang Yuan's group would have been happy to see Chun Yi's side activating the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation or sending people to attack their formation. But now, Chun Yi took the initiative to remove the subformation, choosing to defend passively. The 5-colored smoke's invasion slowed down greatly. Central Continent Immortals only maintained the formation and did not activate it, so they suffered from weaker backlash. On the contrary, Chun Yi was still behind the formation, continuing to arrange immortal formations. Fang Yuan's group needed even more time to destroy this 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation as a result. The most crucial thing was that Fang Yuan's group had to fight for every second. They could not delay for even one moment. Once Heavenly Court eliminates Longevity Heaven's forces, they would rush here to deal with Fang Yuan's group. Chun Yi was very calm with his deep experience. He purposely backed down. It was only a small step back in the overall picture, but it instead became an even more terrifying offensive move. He directly forced Fang Yuan's group towards the edge of the cliff. Sigh. If I had known this, I would have made Formation Spirit and Formation Flag Immortal Gu take part in the 5 regional formation. With that, 5 regional formation could be mobile and would not have to be fixed in one place. Fang Yuan mentally sighed. This was not his mistake, and it was not that he was unwilling to contribute. If Formation Spirit and Formation Flag Immortal Gu were to be joined with the 5 regional formation, the amount of things to deduce would increase sharply, and it would consume a lot of Fang Yuan's time. In fact, even if the 5 regional formation could be moved, Fang Yuan's group would not be able to resolve the current crisis. Chun Yi took the initiative to dispel the subformation and retreated to a defensive position. The 5 regional formation inside the subformation was now exposed. There was already a chaotic battle going on outside the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation. 4 rank 8 Gu immortals, Qing Yi, Li Huang, Prince Feng Xian, and Ba Shi Ba, were engaged in a ferocious fight. Clear jade, dripping wind, tiny bamboo building, frost dragon manor, wind sweeping building, and other immortal goo houses were rampaging in the battlefield, occasionally colliding against each other or erupting with immortal killer moves. Dazzling lights and explosions resounded everywhere. Not good. Unlimited wind is getting out of my control. Wu Yong's expression changed. Previously, he had been inside the formation and had not clearly sensed it. Now that Chun Yi had removed the formation, Wu Yong clearly felt something wrong. Without any delay, Wu Yong flew out of the 5 regional formation and charged at wind sweeping building. Yao Huang, Heavenly Lord by Zhu and others also made their moves. With their support, Li Huang, Qing Yi, and others felt huge pressure. They had to retreat again, and soon, they along with Central Continent's immortal goo houses were getting suppressed. Fang Yuan quietly moved out before suddenly using Great Thief Ghost Hand. Central Continent's immortal goo houses immediately met with disaster as Fang Yuan stole a large amount of goo worms. Fang Yuan grabbed repeatedly and soon obtained 3 immortal goo. Adding on his gains from the battle in Emperor City, he had already stolen over 10 immortal goo from Central Continent's immortal goo houses. As for these immortal goo, Fang Yuan recognized some of them, while there were some which he did not recognize. His time path clone was staying inside the light of wisdom, continuously deducing the ways in which these goo worms could be used. Seeing that the situation was going awry, Li Huang got away from Prince Feng Xian and hurried to fight Fang Yuan. The previous scene in Emperor City played out once again. Fang Yuan was entangled by Li Huang and was unable to easily target immortal goo houses. This Prince Feng Xian is acting so well, intentionally letting go of Li Huang without commotion. Fang Yuan mentally snorted. Prince Feng Xian was a problem. What made Fang Yuan feel even more problematic was Heavenly Court's rank 9 human path killer move, Heroes Among People. With the amplification from Heroes Among People, Li Huang, Qing Yi, as well as Central Continent's immortal goo houses had their strength increased by several times. Thus they were able to block the joint offense of Southern Border and Northern Plains. We don't have time to continue such a chaotic battle. Let's retreat to the formation. Fang Yuan called out. Wu Yong and the rest slowly moved back and collected their immortal goo houses before retreating to the 5 regional formation. The 5 regional formation was activated completely. Large amounts of 5-colored smoke quickly spread and shrouded the whole battlefield. Inside the 5-colored smoke, Central Continent's goo immortals felt a powerful suppression, like the awkward state of Chun-Yi before. These people who had been strengthened by Heroes Among People had their killer moves amplified as well, which caused the backlash to increase steeply. I did not expect Tao Zhu's method to be so profound. Inside the formation, Ba Shi Ba was moved and sighed. Wu Yong was silent. This situation was within his expectations. Because he had already discovered this, he did not stint on exposing the contents of the true inheritance and seeking to collaborate with Qi Chuyu. Qi Chuyu also knew this was a good thing, but did not have a method to use it before. Now that the formation was modified and successfully arranged, it immediately showed its effects. It is a pity this 5-colored smoke does not distinguish between enemies and allies. Central Continent is suppressed, but we can also suffer from backlash. Only Fang Yuan can move freely, Yao Huang said encouragingly. Many people looked at Fang Yuan, revealing envious expressions. Such a pity. Fang Yuan inwardly sighed. If he could obtain Tao Zhu's true inheritance, relying on the light of wisdom as well as his powerful formation path and wisdom path attainment levels, his battle strength would rise sharply. For example, he had no way to deal with Heroes Among People, but if he had the 5-colored smoke, Li Huang's group would suffer from an even greater suppression. Who was to say if Fang Yuan might be able to suppress the battle in Emperor City single-handedly? Back then, when he had escaped from the 5 regional mountain range and could not take 5 regional true inheritance, he had felt it was a huge loss. Looking at it now, his premonition back then was not wrong. Chapter 1735, Giant Sun vs. Star Constellation. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios' infallible Blessed Land battlefield. The enemies entered their formation. Looks like they want to make full use of the 5-colored smoke. Li Huang and the others are in trouble. Chun-Yi had been paying close attention to the battle situation. Should we go reinforce them? We can work together with them. Maybe we can destroy the enemy's formation. As long as their formation is destroyed and one or two of the core immortal Gu are dead, they might have no way left to make a comeback. Bai Tsang Shui suggested. Chun Yi considered before shaking his head. No need to take a risk. The current situation is very favorable to us. Bring them into the 9-9 consecutive, unceasing formation. Chun Yi was not willing to attack and even wanted to pull back Li Huang and others. He was determined to continue his plan of stalling for time. Fang Yuan flew out of the formation and began to fight Li Huang's group. Inside five-colored smoke, Li Huang's group was greatly restricted when fighting with Fang Yuan. After suffering many losses, Li Huang gave the order to retreat and entered the 9-9 consecutive, unceasing formation, in an instant. Both sides had entered their respective formations. The noisy battlefield was only left with the sounds of unlimited wind. Wu Yong and Fang Yuan remained outside the formation. The former carefully controlled unlimited wind to evade five-colored smoke and target heavenly quartz formation. The latter was hiding in the five-colored smoke, slowly approaching heavenly quartz formation as the five-colored smoke spread out further. Let's continue to hold on. As long as the battle in heavenly court ends, we will win. Inside 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation, Chun Yi roused the morale of everyone. But he had just finished speaking when they heard a loud explosion. The immortals quickly looked and saw surging five-colored smoke. The five-regional formation on Fang Yuan's side suddenly exploded. A figure flew out like an arrow from within the dense five-colored smoke. Prince Feng Xian, what did you do? Kill him. He is definitely Heavenly Court's spy. Lord Qi Chuyu, are you okay? Quick, someone save Lord Qi. A change happened suddenly. Southern border and northern plains Gu immortals were in chaos. Prince Feng Xian, don't even dream about escaping. Fang Yuan and Wu Yong, who were outside, turned around and stopped Prince Feng Xian. Bai Tsang Shui was exulted. So it was Prince Feng Xian who destroyed the enemy formation from inside. Great job. Some Gu immortals who were unaware of the inside information were dumbstruck at this sight. Quick, Prince Feng Xian is our Spirit Affinity House's member. Go save him. A Spirit Affinity House's supreme elder urged. Even without his words, Chun Yi had already sent the command at Li Huang, Qing Yi, and Bai Tsang Shui flew out of the formation to bring back Prince Feng Xian. Fang Yuan and Wu Yong were obstructed by these three. Prince Feng Xian was not weak, and with help from the reinforcements, he entered the 9-9 consecutive unceasing formation successfully. Heavenly Court's immortals, however, did not know. This Prince Feng Xian who was brought into their formation was a fake. I finally got in. Fang Yuan sneered inwardly with surging killing intent. Immortal killer move. Familiar face. This killer move was given a major modification by Fang Yuan, and adding on the transformation path down marks he obtained from annexing Beast Calamity Grotto Heaven. Its might had increased by several times. Even if Heavenly Court had made preparations, they could not discover Fang Yuan's true identity. At this moment, the true Prince Feng Xian was actually still inside the five-regional formation. The five-regional formation had been modified by Fang Yuan, and he had naturally put in another formation inside. This inner formation was a cage to trap Prince Feng Xian, and its formation core was being guarded by several rank 8 Gu immortals. As for the Fang Yuan, inside the five-colored smoke, it was Yi Hao Feng's disguise. Southern Border's rank 8 Gu immortal, Yi Hao Feng, was a transformation path Gu immortal. Although he did not have a method like familiar face, he was inside the five-colored smoke which protected him from the investigative killer moves of other rank 8 Gu immortals. As for the five-regional formation, it had truly been detonated. Countless mortal Gu died, and the immortal Gu used in the formation also suffered varying severity of damage. Only by doing this could they deceive Chun Yi's side. Chun Yi was still in the dark because of another reason as well. Fairy Ziwei had sent a notification to them. Chun Yi's group knew Prince Feng Xian's true identity, which made them place attention on him constantly during the battle. Once there was any movement over on Prince Feng Xian's end, and he backstabs the enemy, they were to actively cooperate and achieve greater success in the battle. Right now, Prince Feng Xian had directly destroyed the enemy's formation. This was a huge battle merit. Chun Yi's group had already been mentally prepared, so they immediately accepted Fang Yuan. Since the secret that I was reborn has been exposed, Heavenly Court is definitely wary of Prince Fengxian's identity being exposed as well. Currently, this war pertains to Fate Gu. At the crucial moment, Heavenly Court will definitely use Prince Fengxian to maintain the situation. This is something I can exploit. Fang Yuan sneered inwardly. He was disguised as Prince Fengxian with a heavily injured look. Under the expectant gazes of Heavenly Court immortals, he entered the core of 99 consecutive unceasing formation confidently. The Spirit Affinity House Supreme Elder welcomed him first. She smiled. Welcome home. Fang Yuan was ready and prepared to make a move. I am not the real Prince Fengxian. I will be exposed when I converse with them. And I don't have Wu Yang's concealing methods. My killer move's aura will definitely leak when I prepare it. So the perfect time to make a move is at this moment when I have just entered the formation. Because I was chased, the killer move aura on my body has yet to dissipate. Fang Yuan was about to make a fatal move when a change occurred. Everyone in the whole battlefield had a change in their expression. What is that? Rank 9 killer move. It seems to have come from Northern Plains. Luck Path's aura. Its direction seems like Heavenly Court. Both enemies and allies forgot about fighting as they all looked up at the sky. An enormous beam of light flew through the sky and shot towards Heavenly Court's direction at an extreme speed. This beam of light was so gigantic, like a large river that spanned across heaven and earth. Wherever it went, it pushed aside all the air. The light pillar's movement was accompanied by a deafening and majestic sound. Such a grand and powerful killer move shocked everyone and sent them into a daze. Chen Yi, Wu Yong, and even Fang Yuan felt how small and insignificant they were at this moment. Unstoppable. Invincible. The light pillar started from black heaven above Northern Plains, piercing through the regional wall and directly bombarding Heavenly Court. Heavenly Court shook intensely. The world seemed to tremble as countless immortal goo houses cracked and broke. This is... Duke Long looked up fiercely. The previous moment, he had been in high spirits and with his awe-inspiring might. He had beaten 7 extreme desolation and calamity luck altar to the point where they did not even know their bearings. But when the light pillar charged towards him, he paled in horror. In an instant, he had become fish on the chopping board. He could not move. He was locked firmly by the beam like an insect trapped in amber. He could only watch quietly as the pillar of light crashed, even though his current strength could make all other rank 8 Gu immortals feel helpless and lament. Rank 9 killer move. This is Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's method. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable left behind a backup method after all. No, he is not targeting me. He is going after Fate Gu. Duke Long suddenly realized as his face turned malevolent. He struggled with all his strength, trying to activate his immortal killer moves desperately. But what he feared still happened. His killer moves did not even activate once. The continuous failure in activating killer moves inflicted heavy backlash on him. His mouth and eyes were both bleeding. The Heavenly Court immortals were confused and shocked. Some who overestimated their own strength tried to obstruct the beam, but were all incinerated into ashes. No rank 8 Gu immortal could block the advancement of the light pillar. Lord Ancestor, Giant Sun. Master. At this moment, Bing Sai Chuan and Mao Li Chio's eyes shined brightly. But right as the beam of light was about to strike the refinement path formation, suddenly, everyone heard a deep sigh. Following that, the image of 2 venerables playing chess appeared once again in Imperfection Regret Pavilion. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable, who was playing chess with Limitless Demon Venerable, grabbed a chess piece and tossed it out. Instantly, countless starlight specks flickered and gathered. They were so dazzling that they did not lose to the huge yellow beam. Starlight specks formed a giant web that obstructed the beam's advancement. The beam of light became slower and thinner. The starlight specks that were surrounding it were absorbing and transferring the strength away. Star Constellation Immortal Venerable. This is Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's method. The Heavenly Court Gu immortals were exalted. They looked at Imperfection Regret Pavilion with reverence and excited emotions. Duke Long gasped for breath. The beam of light had approached him closely, almost touching his face. But in the end, the beam was completely stopped and trapped by the starlight web. Damn it, we were so close. Bing Sai Chuan was very upset. Duke Long was Heavenly Court's strongest battle strength. He was also their leader and banner. If he died, Heavenly Court's morale would definitely fall greatly, while Longevity Heaven, which still had Calamity Luck Altar and 7 Extreme Desolation, would have hope left. Star Constellation, this bitch. Mao Li Chiu clenched its teeth fiercely. When the beam of light suddenly changed abruptly, it started to rotate and got faster and faster, forming circles of whirling currents on its surface. Inside Imperfection Regret Pavilion, a surprised look appeared on Star Constellation Immortal Venerable's face. With a loud sound, the beam exploded, splitting into hundreds of enormous yellow chi currents that plunged into Bing Sai Chuan, Mao Li Chiu, and the other Northern Plains experts. Mao Li Chiu was dumbfounded that it had already been prepared for death, but after this yellow chi current moved through its limbs and bones, all its injuries were healed, and immortal essence was condensing within its immortal aperture. Out of nowhere, a golden-white halo appeared on Longevity Heaven's members, giving them a huge amplification. This amplification was several times stronger than heroes among people. After the light pillar got obstructed by the starlight web, it transformed into another effect and helped Longevity Heaven's members instead. Duke Long. Let's fight again. Bing Sai Chuan shouted, having recovered to his peak condition. Calamity Luck Altar was also shrouded in a layer of radiance, and under Bing Sai Chuan's control, it flew out. Duke Long did not dodge, but faced Calamity Luck Altar head-on. Calamity Luck Altar's momentum was blocked, but Duke Long was sent flying like a cannonball. He smashed through 5 to 6 thick walls before being stopped by the Chi Wall. Guh. Duke Long's face turned pale as he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. His chest had caved in, and almost all his ribs were broken. 1.